Recently, Chinese media published a very notable article with the title, "The United States was surprised to discover the truth that China had changed. The US military was forced to play hide and seek." So how has China changed so that the United States has to play hide and seek, as the article stated? Please listen. The following is the content. The United States was surprised to discover the fact that China has changed. And all of this has to start with the American aircraft carrier that escaped from the battle that, some time ago, the United States and the Philippines were engaged in trouble in the South China Sea, intending to demonstrate their deterrent power against China. As a result, China was not afraid at all and directly confronted them. On the same day, China announced that it would conduct a routine patrol at the same time and in the same sea area. This scared the USS Carl Vinson, which was originally planning to show up, and said, "I have something to do, come back next time." The action was cancelled. The US Navy really didn't expect this time that China would dare to take the initiative and plan to have a head-on confrontation with them. It's a pity that the US aircraft carrier is too cowardly and escaped, which made this confrontation less interesting. However, the People's Liberation Army did not intend to let it go. They continued to dispatch naval and air forces and held a joint exercise in the South China Sea. Regarding what happened in the South China Sea, we can only say that this is definitely not an accident. The People's Liberation Army's strong response is not a temporary act. A recent official media report clearly reflected the People's Liberation Army's desire to fight. CCTV exposed something in its report on the Nanchang ship. That is, when performing a training mission in the open sea, the Nanchang ship received an instruction to directly approach the foreign aircraft carrier battle group. In the context of actual combat, it was tested how to effectively respond to the nuisance of foreign warships and aircraft to ensure that we in the rear of the safety of military aircraft carriers. Some people have always questioned us, saying that China has not fought a war in decades. Does it still have such a strong fighting capacity? Especially the rapidly rising Chinese Navy, which has very little actual combat experience. Can it really be a rival to the US Navy? After all, what the Chinese Navy has to face is truly the strongest maritime power in the world. We naturally want to know the answers to these questions. Now, the Nanchang ship rushes out directly and goes head-to-head with the foreign aircraft carrier formation. Who is this foreign aircraft carrier formation? Isn't that the US Navy? It seems that now that China's maritime power has risen, the People's Liberation Army is looking for a whetstone for itself. And the US Navy fits our needs exactly. Now, in the Indo-Pacific region, the only one left who is qualified to confront us head-on is the US Navy. It is said that China's development of maritime power involves crossing the river by feeling the stones of the United States. Now it is time to hand in the homework. We have to have a face-to-face encounter with this teacher. Taking the initiative to train with the US Navy in the Pacific can not only improve our actual combat capabilities, it can also put a damper on the arrogance of the United States. Let them know that the waters surrounding China are not a place where they can freely navigate at will. Now that the People's Liberation Army is becoming more and more proactive, the US Navy is constrained everywhere in the Western Pacific, especially in the waters surrounding China. The US Navy also said before that it is basically difficult for them to escape our control. Every warship and every fighter plane that enters our surrounding waters will be targeted immediately by us. In this way, the deterrence operations originally planned by the US Navy are always used backhand by us and become free sparring partners. This time the US aircraft carrier suddenly suspended operations, probably because it wanted to get rid of this embarrassing situation and not give us more opportunities for actual combat. So, after seeing such an enthusiastic People's Liberation Army, the US Navy began to play hide-and-seek in the Western Pacific, trying to avoid us. Paper airplane. Just now is the content that the Chinese press wrote. What is your opinion? Let us know by leaving a comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so we can see you in the upcoming video. Goodbye.